there are two kinds of cultures. One is strong and weak. Strong culture, they are the cultures in which key values are deeply held and widely held. So their opinions, their beliefs, their faiths are deeply held. It has a strong influence on organization members. The factors influencing the strength of culture is size of the organization, how many members are working, age of the culture, okay, whether the workers are aged or middle aged or youth, what is the rate of employee turnover, and strength of the original culture, clarity of cultural values, okay, from where they are coming, okay, from which area they are coming, which religion they follow. So all these influence the strength of culture. The benefits of strong culture creates employee commitment to the organization. Okay. If there are more people following the same culture means they show a commitment. It aids in the recruitment and socialization of new employees. It fosters higher organization performance by instilling and promoting employees' initiative. It promotes employee initiative. There is a strong culture. The sources of culture are vision and mission. The past practices are the way the things have been done. So based on the past things, some cultures are followed. So the behavior of top management. So these are the sources of organization culture. So this is the difference between strong and weak culture. How employees learn culture. So the employees learn culture from stories, rituals, material symbols, and language. How culture affects managers. The culture constraints on managers. So whatever managerial actions the organization recognizes as a proper or improper on its behalf. Whatever organizational activities the organization values and encourages. The overall strength or weakness of the organization. So these are the 3 points or 3 constraints which affect the managers. So this diagram shows how organization culture is established and maintained. The managerial decisions affected by the culture. So, so this slide shows how culture affects the basic managerial functions such as planning, organizing, leading, controlling, and coordinating. So this organization culture issues are is high in risk tolerance, low in moderate, focus on means as well as outcomes, creates an innovative cultures, challenge and environment, freedom, trust and openness, idea time, playfulness, conflict resolution, debates, and risk taking. So these points create an innovative culture. So suggestions for manager creating a more ethical culture. Definitely some cultures are followed in the organization within workers or employees. So the suggestions for managers for maintaining such culture, the strong culture within the organization, are he should be a visible role model to the employees. He should communicate with others in a ethical expectation. He should provide ethics training. He should reward ethical acts and punish unethical ones. He should provide protective mechanisms so employees can discuss ethical dilemmas. So he should provide protective mechanisms for the employees. For their welfare, he should provide all these mechanisms. So only they can discuss ethical dilemmas. The second one, customer responsive culture. The manager should create a customer responsive culture, hiring right type of employees, having few rigid rules and procedures, using widespread empowerment of employees, having good listening skills, providing role clarity to employees, having consciousness, carrying employees, taking some initiatives. So this will make customer responsive culture. So this is the continuation of this customer responsive culture. Then spirituality and organization culture. How spirituality has a major role in organization culture. So spirituality means the recognition that people have an inner life that nourishes and is nourished by meaningful work. The characteristics of spiritual organization are strong sense of purpose, focus on individual development, trust and openness, employee empowerment. So all this point will confirm a spiritual organization. Benefits of spirituality are listed here. The improved employee productivity. So this is the main point. The productivity of the employee will improve, turnover will improve, and then employee turnover means thing, but the employee at a certain period of time they will be leaving quickly from any organization. This is called employee turnover. This will be reduced. Organization performance will be stronger, creativity is increased, employee satisfaction will be increased, team performance will be increased. These are the benefits. How the external environment can be defined. The external environment are the factors which forces from outside the organization that affect the organization performance. So I told you already what is the organization external factors economic, socio, cultural, political, demographic, and technological and global factors. These are all external forces. So this diagram depicts the external environment. So as I told you, this global, political, socio-economical, these are all external forces. They affect the organization. The organization is interlinked with the suppliers, uh, public, competitors, customers, and so on. So these external factors will influence this organization and the interlinked components. So the slide shows how environment affects managers. So if environment changes, if there is any change in environment, means definitely some technology has to be followed to overcome these issues. So definitely the managers uh, should tackle these problems. They should possess the capability. So in that way, it affects managers. Stakeholder relationships. Stakeholders are nothing but the public, suppliers, customers, everyone which is associated with the organization are called stakeholders. So why manage stakeholder relationship can lead to improve the organization performance. If stakeholder relationship is good, the organization performance will be good. So managing stakeholder relationship will consist of these points, like identify the organization external stakeholders. Who are all the stakeholders outside the organization? They must be identified first. Then the particular interest and the concerns of the external stakeholders are determined, and we have to decide how critical each external stakeholder is to the organization. And finally, determine how to manage each individual external stakeholder relationship. As I told you, the stakeholders are given, they are closely associated with the organization. So with that, we can conclude here. Uh, the remaining things I will discuss in the next presentation. Thank you very much.